go check something. There was a merge. Okay. Hopefully some of the regulars will come back and the crazy chat will be different this time. So there are things that are very important to understand about our identity. And I was hoping to get some real authentic questions about identity and about how we see ourselves. So I'm just going to wait and see if more people jump on. So most people misidentify themselves away from what is organic. Okay, let's see. Waiting for people to jump back on here. Hello, were you on the last stream? Eric, oh good, you're back. You didn't answer me, did you find your headset? From yesterday, Eric. So we're talking about our identity today. And this came from one of the members left in a chat. He was asking specifically, when you go to different countries, how is it that you can feel more at home or more assimilated with different ways and cultures? And that would be because of the identity matrix that we are part of. And we have stations of identity. Yes, stations of identity, and they're connected to our multidimensional aspects. So I'm curious, when we have our identity, no, this is not monetized. Yes, I see comments, but I'm only answering questions that are pertinent to the topic. So when we have our personality matrix, 1, 2, or 3D, okay, first dimension, second dimension, third dimension, that's our personality matrix. Those are the things that most people are identifying with, that are from places that have yet to be healed. Okay, David, this is exactly the kind of question I was looking for. David is asking, when I go to another country and speak another language, it's like I assume another personality. Is that normal? No, that would be, David, because I would say that's part of your multidimensional aspect, and you have your personality matrix, then you have your soul matrix, and then you have your monadic. And these are all aspects that are stations of identity. And when you go to another country, David, and you have that experience where you fluidly step into something like another culture and language, and it's normal for you, it's because you have that experience from either another station of identity and or past lives in that culture. So this is why our belief structure really is so important, because if we think we're just this physical body and we don't have a past, like a past beyond our memory because we've been mind wiped, then we have a hard time understanding how we integrate these multidimensional aspects. Like language is a fascinating aspect in which we can embody. Like I know when I went to Peru and I was working with a shaman, I would sing songs that I never heard before as if I knew them. Why? Because that's something that's part of who I am, part of my identity from maybe a past lifetime or such. But I know that was exactly that, like what you're talking about. Only, I don't know how to sing. I don't know the words to these songs. It's in another language, and yet here I was singing the songs. So, is that normal? I'd say that's natural. That what you're describing is natural. Normal is, up for discussion. And I would say you want to be aligned to natural, not normal, because we have a lot of things that are accepted as normal that are absolutely not natural. Okay, so David, I think you are more aligned and in tuned with your multidimensional aspects. Thunder is saying places yet to be healed. Yes. So when we are doing our work on healing, we want to look at aspects like where we might have been wounded or traumatized or vulnerable or weak that need healing attention, Thunder. And so, where are those places? Well, it depends on where you're at in your level of consciousness and awareness. I'm just looking for questions here. It upcycle. Thank you for being here. Good to see you again. Yes, a very interesting topic. This came from one of the members wanting to understand more about the language issue that David was just bringing up about what feels natural from another, potentially another past lifetime, or even another aspect of his soul identity that he had not really considered prior to speaking another language. Ra, I don't get why we need to do the physical body. Well, that would be because the spirit expresses through the physical body. And so that's why. At least here on this planet. Tailor-Made says, strange the way a lot of Westerners identify with Japanese culture. I think it just depends. Jordy is saying adopting another personality when learning a foreign language is completely normal. Well, personality is different than an identity, right? It's not, it's one and the same. So we might express ourselves differently depending on the culture, depending on our exposure, depending on our willingness to open. Phil, it sounds like you have, Phil is asking, why is the moon screaming in my head? It sounds like you have entity attachments. And that would be the lunar moon. And so you might want to go check that out and look at how do you address attachments. Because the only voice that you should be hearing in your head is your own. If you're hearing other voices, that would mean that you have been infiltrated. How do you align? You align by reconnecting to your heart. You align by understanding your energy bodies. You align by connecting with your higher self and your God self. You align by creating your spiritual house within. Thunder is saying, I wonder if dreams are also related because I get dreams of seeing myself dancing and strange stuff. Well, astral manipulation is something that happens very frequently. I'm not saying that that happens to you, but it is something to consider. Dreams are another way in which we have multidimensional experiences. And oftentimes if we don't understand how our bodies work and we don't understand how our energy field works, then, you know, things can get infiltrated very easily. Zach is asking, are you a psychologist? No, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist nor a doctor. I do energy psychology, which is completely different and totally the opposite of what those professions are. I look at people holistically and energetically. Looking for questions about identity. Real one, do you work for the government? The answer is no. Have I consulted to the government? The answer is yes. I was specifically brought in to help their dysfunctional teams become more functional. And I did that for many years. And I have worked on the top 3 or 4 major projects for certain government agencies that needed a quick turnaround, and I was brought in to help assist with that. Nahom, it depends who you're praying to. Nahom is saying you align by praying, and I would say it depends on who you're praying to. Not all prayers are going in alignment, you see, because people have what's called reversal energies going. So you always want to pray to creation, to a God, to source energy, in my opinion. Now, I know there's a lot of religious people out there, and you have to do what you think is best for you. Ra One is saying, how do I build a spiritual house? It's through, the objectives are to, okay, Ra is asking, how do you build the spiritual house? First of all, you have to connect within your heart. And then you would connect to aspects of generosity, the spirit of kindness, the spirit of, kindness, spiritual generosity. There's 7 houses, let me think, purity. And so you would build the houses, and the objective within spirituality is always going to be about embodiment. Okay? Anybody who puts a chat in here looking for business gets deleted. Friendship and love. Oh, hello. Ali is saying good public speaking is based on good positive thinking. And I would say, Ali, good public speaking is about alignment. Absolutely. I once had an admiral that I worked with that really was horrible at connecting with his supporters, I'll just say his employees, his ranks. And part of our work was really aligning his thinking. Oh, Raw One is asking, what is embodiment? Embodiment would be, so kindness is an expression, right? But when kindness is fully embodied within you, meaning it's a part of your pure nature, and your responses and your reactions are in alignment with kindness, for example, purely being in service to creation, that's embodiment. So you want to embody spiritual aspects. You don't want to think them, you want to be them. That's embodiment. Hi, Matthew. Good to see you here. Oh, Sid, sorry. You were on the other video. We have this crazy thing in my neighborhood where they go around and do this stupid thing with the streets and they just give you tickets. It's a way of the government getting money from us. And you get like $100 ticket if your car is parked. And I heard the machine coming and that's why I ran out. Sorry. I thought my car was out there and I didn't want to get a ticket. Thanks for coming back. Okay, Upcycle is saying it's almost 2 a.m. at night here. 2 a.m. would be in the morning, right? Couldn't come for the last few days as I was traveling. Thank you for the wonderful sessions as always. Take care. Okay, good night. Jennifer, I'm going this week. Thank you. Jennifer is telling me that you could see my roots. Thank you, Jennifer. You're so unkind for saying that. Let's see. The government needs to do some kindness embodiment. Well, I didn't work for all of the government, you see. I only worked with certain aspects. I worked actually with a bunch of engineers, and that is how I did that for many years. Gosh, probably almost 20 years I did that. Team development and that type of thing. But yes, I would say not. You can't have like organizations say they need to do embodiment because everybody would need to be congruent for that to happen. And what we know about government agencies, obviously, if they're bringing me in, they're incongruent, right? If they have dysfunctions, they're incongruent. So they were just having a hard time getting their jobs done. It wasn't about anything like kindness. I didn't focus on kindness with them unless I was working with managers one-on-one and how to get more from their staff. Do I like cuss culture? I don't know what that means. Fagan, I had to go get my car. Oh, Jennifer, you probably are a bot. David, okay. Well, let's see. Oh, I missed. David is asking, could you talk a little bit about self-awareness and how you control your emotions facing a tough situations that trigger us towards bad decisions? Self-awareness. So this is how I think we can get through tough situations easier. Is everything that we are being faced with is an opportunity for us to learn, to grow, and expand. And if we approach our situations from a perspective of growth and learning, we can move through them easier. If we are being triggered, that is something different, right? So your emotions can distract you if you do not feel them. They will and can derail you. It's important to do your emotional work. That means honoring your emotions, having recognition for your emotions, and realizing that the trigger is not the problem. The problem is that you have to do your emotional work. So David, my question to you would be, are you honoring your emotions? Are you honoring yourself and looking at the lessons that you need to learn from this challenge that you're having? And decisions are not bad or good. They're just, different directions, really. To love those who are like us is easy, yeah. But we But can we love those who are different from us? Yes. Isn't God creator of all? Correct. Both night and day have their purpose. Beautiful, Ali. Hey, Matt from Boston. Good to see you here. Digital technology did not ruin humans. You must do more research about how humans came to be the way they are. You might like some of Rudolf Steiner's stuff. Matt, this is a great question. What do I believe causes sleep paralysis? Okay, sleep paralysis is definitely an astral manipulation. Okay, it is a vulnerability that we have in our field, and it absolutely is spiritual because we're at a spiritual war. So, sleep paralysis can be addressed by addressing the vulnerabilities in your fields, your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. The lack of connection or cohesion that you have within would allow sleep paralysis to occur. That's a great question, Matt. Thank you for that. There's a lot of people that struggle with that. Sleep, Raw One is saying sleep paralysis is saying probably melatonin and or booze. I would say I would say those are aspects, specifically alcohol, that would continue to cause a vulnerability in one's field. But you know, there are many ways that our field can get infiltrated for sleep. Most people don't understand any of it because they're solely focused on the physical. But I would say that Matt definitely has his inkling on the spiritual aspect because it is absolutely being infiltrated from our spiritual body and a lack of connection within. When we have a strong connection within, doesn't mean you can't be bothered. It just means that you have better tools to clear it. I think that's a great question. Using vulgar words to get fame is normal. I have no idea what you're talking about. Matt, you gave a great spirit and awesome vibes. Oh, I'm glad. I hope that helped you, Matt. Thank you. I come on here every day just trying to give a new perspective to people who may be wanting to learn, grow, and evolve spiritually, mentally, and physically. You know, because it's all connected. We are all connected. Okay. So, any other questions about identity? So, I can recap. Are we done? Any questions on identity? So there, for identity, we have an aspect. I'm just going to go through my notes because I want to make sure I make it really succinct for everybody. Yeah, we can. We could talk about something else. Let me just do a recap and then ask a question. So our identity is connected to something called the identity matrix. So the matrices, there are many, many matrices, many networks, many systems. So our identity is specifically connected to the identity matrix. That is connected to the harmonic universes, okay? So we have 1D, 2D, 3D. That's going to be your personality matrix. We have 4D, 5D, 6D. Those are dimensions. Those are going to be your soul matrix. We have 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension. Those are going to be your monadic light body matrix. Okay, so those all are the body matrix that make up how the physical body is expressing the spiritual body. Okay, and those are all connected to the universal time matrix, which will provide different timelines in which we operate. Okay, so I'm just going to see if there's any questions about identity, and if not, if you have another topic, or Matt, if you have another question, happy to help in any way that I can support. Thank you, Matt. You know, the chat is what the chat is. So what are some of the tools used to manipulate energy of the astral field? Oh gosh. What are the tools used to manipulate it is different than, first of all, the manipulation is not coming from this planet. It's going to come from off planet. So that could take us down a rabbit hole that's going to make a lot of people very uncomfortable, but am I talking about multiversal theory? I'm talking about the facts of how our energy body works. Oh, Matt, I'm so sorry to hear about your mother. I'm struggling, I bet. Oh, well, first of all, Matt, I do have some recommendations on how to help. First of all, I would suggest do something to honor your mother. Honor your relationship. Whatever resonates with you, I would suggest do something that honors her and your relationship, whatever that is to you. It could be as simple as lighting a candle, go to the beach, go do something you enjoy or have a memory of your mother. And I would do something and do it in honor of her. So that's the one thing. The second thing I would say is, you're not probably going to like this one, but I would actually focus on learning all the lessons you need to learn from that relationship. And the reason why why I would suggest that you focus on the learning is it's going to shift your attention from grief to gratitude. Because when you are learning from an experience, from a relationship, it shifts how you experience that relationship. So all the things that you're learning from your parents, those are going to be a lot, especially because, you know, you've known your mother your whole life, right? So I would really, those would be the things that I'd recommend right now. It's easy to get stuck in grief, so I would decide to do grief differently than what you've witnessed people doing grief. And I have a video on here about death and dying and how to look at that from another perspective. But there's no doubt that, you know, losing a parent, I know I don't have any parents on this planet that are alive. I don't talk to any of my siblings since my mother died. And, you know, there's a lot of learning and a lot of gratitude I have for the entire experience. It wasn't easy, but if you focus on choosing and having conscious choice about how you want to move through the grief experience, that will help. Now, if you're open to alternative, like homeopathic remedies, are you open to that, Matt? If so, I have some recommendations. For the difference between dimensions, Mao, is perception and consciousness. That's the difference. It's just a different quality and a different aspect of information. Oh, good, Matt. I'm glad that you found that helpful. Please let me know how that goes. And I would highly recommend go back to the video on death and dying. I have it. I have a handful of clients going through transitions right now. I have one of my best friends who's in transition right now. So it's really going to be determined by how you consciously choose to grieve. Mao is asking, how can we feel 4D and 3D? The difference is going to be based on density, Mao. So how dense your field is will determine how you're able to feel and access the different dimensions. Oh, thank you, Oliver. Oliver is helping moderate here. Thank you so much. Marcus is asking about my thoughts on Diddy and his collection of baby oil. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts about Diddy and his on what he did. He is not operating from his heart. I will say that, and I also will say is how much of what we are being told about him is being used to distract us from other aspects. That's why we need to come back to our heart. Raw One is asking, is energy psychology a part of a dogma? I would say it's absolutely not part of a dogma or something I developed. I developed my own processes, correct? I call it energy psychology because everything runs in patterns and not everybody understands how those patterns work. So when we understand our energy differently and we understand how to command our energy through our conscious choices, through our free will, we get supported when we are connected. So Raw One, hopefully that helps. It is something I developed. I use light language and light, and I move energy with light, yes. Matt, 40 years old, young, but mentally struggling. Yes. Well, you're not alone, Matt. I have many men that are clients that come to me that thought they were going through a midlife crisis. And, they started with anxiety and depression, and now they're thriving. So, Matt, being in good physical shape is good, but you know this. If you're off balance mentally and emotionally, what good does it do to be good physically? You need it all to be in alignment. And I would say, Matt, really learn how to focus and reconnect with your heart. If you feel inclined to check out my website and send me a message, I have a significant discount for first-time clients going on right now. And you could try one session. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I think you'd like it. I've worked with so many men going through the struggle that you're going through, and you can see their testimonials on my website. They're not in the struggle anymore. They're just better and thriving more than they ever thought possible. In fact, I have one client who, all of my clients are doing well in their careers because they are emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally balanced. Now, that doesn't mean they don't have challenges, but they don't have any challenge like they did when they first met, when they were out of balance like you're experiencing right now. And I would say, Matt, if you're having sleep paralysis, that would, you definitely have some vulnerabilities going on in your energy field. You already know that. And that's why you knew it was a spiritual vulnerability. So connect with your heart, Matt. Does manifestation work? Everything is a co-creation. So how are you connected? Absolutely, manifestation works. But are you consciously manifesting? That's the issue. Oh, I'm so sorry, Zach. Zach, that's quite a lot of trauma. And I'm so sorry for your losses and for your memories that you're having. I would do your best to be in your heart when you notice those memories coming up. Go consciously choose to go into your heart and witness those memories and those experiences that you had through your heart fully and with compassion and with the witness consciousness or observer consciousness. And that will help transmute the memories. And once it's transmuted through the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies, those memories will go away if they are organic. Sometimes when we're having multiple memories of traumas coming up, it's because there's an aspect of infiltration that brings trauma back into your system, so you can produce an energy called miasma and an energy of loosh. And there are attachments, siphons that live off of that, like a parasite. Okay? Bye, Eric. Thank you. Matt is saying, do I believe astrology is a projection of evil? I would say a lot of first of all, I don't know much about astrology. I'll just say that. I'm not well versed in it. I haven't studied it to speak on it. But I would say a lot of it has been manipulated and is used in nefarious ways. Not all of it, but a lot of it. So that's what I think about that, Matt. And I think that's good. You've thought about doing it, but as a Christian, you decided not to. And I would say, like, it doesn't resonate, and that's the reason it doesn't resonate. Today, the topic was identity, but we've now gone on to other topics. If there's any questions. If there's not, then I'm going to jump off. I had to jump off and jump on, so I have 2 lives for today. Intrusive life events. Well, Raw One, what are you talking about there? Intrusive. Are you talking about just red flag events? Those that are pushed on to us all like COVID? I didn't say anything about asthma. Oh, do I believe? Okay. Matt is asking, do I believe in astral project? Do I believe that? Okay, so this is kind of multifaceted. I believe we live in a holographic universe and that we see holographically, at least I do. And that if you choose to, you could project yourself and do remote viewing and so forth like that. Do I do that? No. Do I do remote viewing? Kind of. I view my clients as they book, but only through their authorization. Okay, so that's all. No, I have never seen men who stare at goats. But I stare at turtles, so hey. Okay, y'all. This has been a very interesting topic. I hope you all have a great day. I'm Kiannaa Sadge. I come on here every day between 12 and 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are interested, please put your notifications on. I don't usually schedule these ahead of time. I come on every day and do the best I can to address the topics that interest you and will help you align within. If you have any questions or want me to cover a specific topic, please leave it in the comments below and I will get to them. I am going through a list from a comment left a couple weeks ago, and I'm going through every day, addressing every aspect, and that's how we got the topic of identity today. I hope you found it helpful, and I appreciate you all being here. Please subscribe and put your notifications on. Take care. Have a great day. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being alive. Thanks for making this worthy of living this amazing life that we have. We learn from each other. Bye-bye.